All right. So Shiv,
Yes, ma'am. Welcome back.
yeah, welcome back. Shivansh, would you like to read that?
Yes, ma'am. Bergen, Norway's second largest city, is also the west coastal largest port and one of the
Scandinavia. Scandinavia.
Scandinavia, Scandinavia's
Busiest?
busiest sir is
Cruise.
ship stop.
Cruise ship stopovers. Yeah. So they have a big port. And so the tourists, a lot of them get on cruise ships, and Bergen is a place that they stop over. Okay. All right. Keep going. Good job.
Surrounded by the ring of hills known locally as the Seven Mountains. De Village, the city's
Idyllic. Idyllic. It means perfect and beautiful.
idyllic setting and street
Stunning.
standing natural
Harbor.
harbor has committed its
Same.
repollution as
Reputation.
one of Norway reputation as one
Reputation.
of Norway reputation as one of Norway's most popular tourist spot.
So you can take a ride to the top of the mountain here. And as when you're on top of one of the 7 hills, you look down and you can see the port where the boats go and dock. You can see the houses and the highways. And it's a small city, but very beautiful and very old. Yeah. So I was going to say the word Scandinavia. It's not a country, but it's a region. Scandinavia is made up of Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and Finland. So those 4 countries are in a region and very close to the North Pole. And so that's why you keep seeing this word Scandinavian. They speak different languages, but their culture is very, very similar to one another. Okay, let's go to the next. Sartak, it will be your turn on the next slide. Okay, actually, I'll read this one. Lofoten Islands, the famously beautiful collection of Norway islands. So this was my goal in going here. I really wanted to see that because it almost seemed like another planet, doesn't it? It's just kind of unbelievable. The mountains and the water and the snow. Okay, let's go to the next.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's really something. Very pretty. Let's go to the next slide.
It's looking like imaginary only.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so Sartak, this is your turn.
Yes, ma'am.
And the word is archipelago. And archipelago is a group of islands, okay?
Yes. The scenic asphalt archipelago is one of Europe's best kept secrets, but one important natural gems to explore in Norway. Two, the collection of islands lie within Arctic Circle. They are blessed with warmer temperatures due to the Gulf Stream.
Awesome. So you can see that these red houses are very common there. And they're most of this is like the fishing business. So it's the strangest thing. I didn't put pictures up, but to this day they're fishermen and they dry fish on racks and acres and acres of dried fish. It's that's their culture. Okay, so let's go to the next.
Oh.
Now, I thought you boys especially would get a kick out of this because, so I believe it's Unati, your turn.
Yes, ma'am. The twin peaks on the Lofton Island are called the Goat. You can hike to the top. Those that are a little crazy can jump from the peak to peak.
Okay. So when do you do that? Raise your hand if you think that you would do that. My hand is not up. It's pretty crazy daredevils. Unati would do that. Okay. I'm pretty sure if you look carefully at the guy that's doing the flip, there is a line that's connecting him. I don't know how he's connected because maybe a plane or something is above him with that line going straight up. So, but in the one on the right-hand side, I think he's just jumping from peak to peak. So, yeah, you have to jump far.
But how risky
right, let's
it is.
go.
How risky, how
Yeah.
deadly it is.
Terribly risky. Yeah,
Yeah.
terribly risky. This is
Well,
not what
I-
you want. What was
I
that?
think from the second picture where the man is just jumping on the rock, from there it may be just jumping on the second rock, which is just under it.
Yeah, I think they must, yeah, obviously that is something some people do. Let's go to the next slide. Yep, some people like the risks, all right? Okay.
There's
Oh, I don't know
moon.
how that red slide got there. Okay, here's a beautiful photo from the Lofoten Islands, the
Is this
moon.
moon?
Yeah.
Wow.
Interestingly enough, I believe the closer you get to the Arctic, the bigger the moon can appear at times, certain times of the year, as it rotates. So there you go. And that would be, and then on the right-hand side, the spring flowers coming, and you could see just that whole ring of mountains. It's like another world. It really is. Okay, let's go to the next.
I think in this picture the moon is a little bit large.
Yeah, bigger.
Yeah. Okay, what is the midnight sun? And I believe Dutch, are you here? Nope, you took off. If you would like Shivansh to read that, please.
Yes, ma'am. What is the midnight sun? The midnight sun is the natural
Phenomenon.
phenomenon that ac-
It means it happens. It's the word occurs.
occurs north of the Arctic Circle and south of the Antarctic Circle. Since the
Exit.
tilted axis tilted of Earth is considered considerable, the sun doesn't set during the period of time at this area. That means that during a specific period of time, how long depended on how close you are to the poles. The sun doesn't set, resulting in 24 hours of day, daylight in some areas. This referred at the polar days.
Yeah. So there you go. And then, of course, in the winter, it would be dark almost 24 hours a day. So, yeah. When we were there in May, interestingly enough, it was light at 11 p.m. and it was light again at 1 a.m. So it was only dark about 2 hours a day. And then as it gets to be June 21st, that's the longest day of the year. And lots of celebrations take place in Norway during the longest day of
Sorry to interrupt you. And I also remember one thing. I think Norway is the only place where the sun rises first in the world.
Interesting. I believe that. Interesting.
Yeah. Because in GK,
Yeah,
I read somewhere I read this, where the sun rises first in the world.
Yeah, that makes sense because the mean Greenwich is the place where time starts, and Norway is pretty close to directly above England, so that would make sense. Okay, let's go to the next. I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
The sun is seen first there only in the world, in Norway.
Okay, and I believe now,
Sarthak.
okay, go ahead.
Next.
Lunati, would you like to read?
Isn't it Sarthak's chance?
Oh, it is Sartak's turn. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. What are the northern lights? The natural light show starts when disturbances on the sun pull on Earth's magnetic field that creates cosmic undulations known as alpha waves that launch electrons and high speeds into Earth's atmosphere where they create the aurora.
Mhm. A lot of people will call it an aurora borealis, and it is named after an ancient Greek goddess that was very beautiful. And so you never know when the aurora will show up, but in these northern areas, when the nights are clear and not rainy, you'll be able to see a beautiful light show. And they love it very much. What was that?
Ma'am, can I ask a question?
Of course.
Ma'am, what is that green light coming from? Where does it coming from?
From sun.
So go ahead, sir. Would you like to explain that?
Yeah, it is from sun. Ma'am just explained now. Here you can see, you see, because of the cosmic, so many changes are there in the environment, in the atmosphere, and you will see the sun whenever the earth and sun, the rotation gets little bit changed. So all this with the different shades of lights come there.
Exactly. And one thing, another
Thank
is
you, sir.
if the sun, you've heard of sunspots before, where there's like an explosion on the sun, the more sunspots there are, the more this happens in the sky. And the lights dance, they or move in the sky. So look that up. Northern Lights, you can look up videos online. It's quite amazing.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, shall we go to the next slide?
Oh,
Okay, and almost done here, but Shivansh, would you like to read about this?
Ma'am,
Yes,
it's
ma'am. Ma'am, should I read?
Yes, please.
Introduction,
Introducing.
introducing the Norwaying troll. What is a Norwaying troll? A Norwaying troll are one of the many fantastic culture
creature.
Creatures.
what
Creature.
Creatures.
depicted in Sandiwets Lori.
Lore.
This
Mythical. Mythical.
This mythical creature very believed to live in various landscapes around Nor-
Live in various landscapes.
believe in various landscapes around Norway including the rocky cliffs and mountain sides.
Right. So do you remember the fjords that it showed those rocky mountainsides? So before television, people would make up myths about these. And a lore, L-O-R-E, is just another word for stories. And they would tell stories about trolls. And Norwegian trolls were really big and they weren't always very nice. But as time goes by, people now even have movies about the trolls. Have you heard of the troll movies? Are they popular in India? Here in the US, there's movies called Trolls, and it's just kind of like silly little cartoons, basically. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Trolls. Yeah. And it is time. Sartak, it's your turn.
Yes, ma'am. Norwegian trolls, and perhaps one of the most famous creatures associated with the Nordic people, and for good reason. You don't have to travel far in Norway to find someone willing to tell you all about ancient trolls and the narrative associated with them.
Yeah, so here we are. And this is just a kind of a tourist spot. It was a tourist store. Our friend is being silly in the background. And it was on National Day, so we had our flags. And that was our trip to Norway. It was a lot of fun. And Mr. Knutsen, his last name is a Norwegian name. So his family is from that area. Yep. Okay, that was it for today. I'm glad you all hung in there and
Yes,
were
ma'am.
able to
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your precious time and for such
Yes.
lovely, lovely pictures and too much information about this beautiful city.
Yeah, lots of information there for you.
Yeah.
I've got two slideshows that are done, and one
Yeah.
of them is about, I believe, about volcanoes, and one of them is about Edgar Allan Poe, the author.
Oh.
So which would you guys be interested in for tomorrow?
Volcano, ma'am.
You want to do the volcanoes?
Volcanoes.
Okay, well, that's
Yes.
you know, kind of timely because in Indonesia there was a volcanic eruption, I believe yesterday, wasn't there? It was in the news. So, okay, volcanoes it is.
Yeah.
Okay, we will see you tomorrow morning. I mean,
Thank you.
evening. Okay, bye-bye.